Is being the King of England even worth it anymore? Sure, you get to live in fancy palaces, wear clothing encrusted with jewels, and see yourself portrayed by Dominic West. But King Charles's reign is providing more and more proof that the saying, "heavy lies the head that wears a crown," is still true today. The Shakespearean king who delivers the line was talking about being unable to sleep due to his tremendous responsibilities. King Charles has the opposite problem. He has little actual power. In this video, we will talk about the top 10 annoying King Charles moments that showed he's a puppet. Number 10, not marrying for the right reasons. Why did Charles marry Diana? It wasn't for love. In fact, he was bullied into it, or so he thought. Because Diana was young and fruitful, the royal family thought it would be a good idea to pair the two up, as they wanted Charles to have an heir to the throne and needed the monarchy to live on. So after Charles and Diana had met only a handful of times and Charles had not proposed, it was thought that he was stalling. Number 9, royal business transactions. The courtship between the Prince and Princess of Wales was almost like a scene straight out of a fairy tale, but not the type with happily ever afters. It was as brief as Cinderella's dance with her prince, yet significantly less romantic. Charles seemed so desperate to make sure all his requirements for a bride were in check that it felt more like he was ticking boxes than actually getting to know Diana. For Diana, it was even worse. She knew she had to impress and conform to meet the expectations of her future husband and his family. So she put on an act that would have made any actor playing the role proud. Number 8, the royal title comes first. It seems that Prince Charles was more concerned with upholding the monarchy than his own marriage. The failed marriage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana was a major red flag in the British royal family. Diana's revealing 1997 Vanity Fair interview, where she declared Charles never wanted to divorce her, clearly showed that he was more concerned with upholding the monarchy than prioritizing his relationship with her. This further revealed the uncomfortable truth that Charles valued his power and privilege over any sense of marital responsibility. Even after she filed for divorce, the prince refused to accept it. Number 7, forced to give a speech he hates. Charles gave a speech as the centerpiece of the state opening of Parliament. Although he filled in for his mother last year, this is the first true king's speech in over 70 years. However, the focus wasn't on Charles's vision for Britain or the historical nature of the event, but rather on how he was forced to announce an environmental policy he probably dislikes. So Charles, a lifelong environmentalist, couldn't even roll his eyes as he announced that one of Rishi Sunak's Conservative government's top agenda items, which is creating an annual system for awarding oil and gas licenses. Number 6, failure to uphold justice. Instead of upholding justice and fairness, King Charles has been known to turn a blind eye to corruption and injustice within his kingdom. Despite the cries for reform and accountability, he has constantly shown favoritism towards those who are loyal to him, rewarding their allegiance with positions of power and wealth. On the other hand, those who dare to speak out against him are met with harsh punishment and persecution, their voices silenced and their lives ruined. This blatant disregard for the law and equality not only undermines the very fabric of the kingdom, but also reveals a deeply flawed character that is unfit to be a just and fair ruler. Number 5, the appointment of corrupt officials. Many of King Charles's appointed officials have been accused of corruption and using their positions for personal gain. This has raised questions about his judgment and whether he is truly making decisions in the best interest of the UK. The British police were on it, investigating Charles's charity, the Prince's Trust, after reports of a cash for honors scheme. Apparently, a close aide, Michael Fawcett, thought it was a brilliant idea to offer a Saudi tycoon a knighthood and British citizenship in exchange for a hefty $2 million donation. Talk about creative fundraising tactics. Number 4, the British monarchy is crumbling. The negative sentiment surrounding the royal family has been steadily rising, particularly among younger generations such as Gen Z, who view the monarchy as largely outdated and out of touch. In the past couple of years alone, several dramatic events have shaken public trust in the family. From Prince Harry's decision to step away from his duties to Prince Andrew's ties to Jeffrey Epstein, people are beginning to question how fit the royals are for public office. At number 3, the lack of involvement in major decisions. Despite being the ruler, there have been many instances where King Charles seems to be absent from major decision-making processes. This has led to speculation that he is simply a figurehead and not actually in control of his own kingdom. Of course, people work effectively past 75 in many professions. Some stay vital until their 90s or even beyond, and most societies would benefit from gleaning more wisdom from their elders. However, presiding over a nation state is unlike most other jobs in the world. When the stakes are high, cognitive decline becomes a real challenge. Stress, busy schedules, and not getting enough sleep can make the effects of aging even worse. That's why we see folks like William and members of Charles's team stepping up to lead based on his words and actions. Number 2, the secret letters scandal. Letters written by then Prince Charles to government officials were released, revealing his attempts to influence government policies and legislations. This was seen as a clear overstepping of boundaries and raised concerns about the role he would play as king in a democratic society. These memos, which The Guardian obtained after a legal battle, raised concerns that mattered to the public. A spokesperson for Charles responded that he was only raising issues of public concern and trying to find practical ways to address the issues. For instance, one letter to former Prime Minister Tony Blair highlighted Charles's support for a change in herbal medicine policy. But then he later went on to set up an alternative medicine company. And last but not least, at number 1, afraid of failure. The role of a reigning monarch is not one to be taken lightly by any means, and people fear that King Charles just doesn't have what it takes to rise to the occasion. Whether because of his personality traits or capabilities or something else entirely, if people don't have confidence that he will do a good job, it will be hard for them to get behind him. So, how do you guys think he's been doing? His reign is inevitably going to be far shorter than his mother's time on the throne. King Charles was 3 years old when he became the heir apparent, and he is now in his 70s. The fact that King Charles will have such a shorter reign concerns some people. Why? Well, change on a grand scale can be very scary, while consistency gives people a sense of what to expect. But you know what? The people of England will feel the impact the most. The constant power struggles and lack of strong leadership will cause years of turmoil and instability. Ordinary citizens will suffer as a result. But let us know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. I've been your host Shantae. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!